Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to absolutely master a really powerful tool for solving quadratic equations. It's called completing the square. And you know what? It's the method that works even when everything else seems to fail.
So let me ask you a question. Factorization fail ho gaya? Are you stuck trying to solve quadratic equations that just won't cooperate? Yeah, we've all been there, right? Staring at a problem that just refuses to break down.
To chinta mat karo. This method is gonna save you. Seriously, when the usual tricks just aren't cutting it, completing the square is your secret weapon. It is guaranteed to work every single time.
All right, let's just dive right in with a classic example. Have a look at this equation. X squared plus 4x minus 4 equals 0. Our goal, our mission, is to figure out what x is.
Okay, so why does our usual first attempt, factorization, just fail us here? Well, think about it. We need two numbers that add up to the middle guy, 4, and multiply to give us the last one, -4. Go ahead, try and think of some. Yeah, you'll quickly realize that no simple whole numbers can do both of those things at the same time. This is exactly where we get stuck and need a better way.
And that better way is all about one core idea. We're going to take our tricky equation and, well, we're going to force it to look like something that's super easy to solve, a perfect square.
You definitely remember this from your earlier algebra lessons, right? A perfect square trinomial. The formula a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, it always folds up neatly into a plus b squared. This beautiful, simple form, that's our target. We want to make our equation look exactly like that.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do we take an equation that is not a perfect square and somehow, magically, turn it into one? Well, guess what? It's not magic at all. It's just one very clever step.
And here it is. This is the secret ingredient, the one trick you absolutely have to remember. In your quadratic equation, you take the b term, that's the number next to the x, you divide it by 2, and then you square the result. And here's the crucial part. You have to add that number to both sides of the equation. You got to keep it balanced, right? This one move, it unlocks everything.
Okay, theory is great, but let's see it in action. We're going to apply this magic step to the problem we started with. Let's break it down step by step. Right, let's walk through this. Step 1, get all the x terms on one side and the number on the other. So we move the -4 over and it becomes a +4. We get x squared plus 4x equals 4. Easy enough. Now for the magic. Our b is 4. Half of 4 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So we add this 4 to both sides. Now just look at the left side. X squared plus 4x plus 4. See it? That's a perfect square. It neatly becomes x plus 2 squared. On the right, we have 4 plus 4, which is 8. Now it's simple. We take the square root of both sides, and please don't forget the plus or minus sign, and then we just solve for x.
And just like that, there we have it. The two roots, the two solutions for x, are -2 plus 2 root 2 and -2 minus 2 root 2. We just found the answer that simple factorization could never give us. Okay, that was a pretty straightforward one. But you know, in exams, they love to give you slightly trickier problems. So what do you do when the equation looks a bit tougher? Let's look at this one. 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals 0. The process is basically the same, but there is one really important first step that you have to do no matter what.
And here is the golden rule you must never forget. Before you even think about completing the square, you have to make sure the number in front of x squared is a 1. So what do? We divide every single term in the equation by that number a, which is 3 in our case. Now you'll get an equation with fractions, but don't panic. From this point on, the steps are exactly the same as what we just did.
Now, let's talk about another interesting case. What happens with an equation like this one? X squared plus 4x plus 5 equals 0. Sometimes you'll find there's a little twist. You see, if you try to use our method on some equations, you'll eventually run into a roadblock. You'll find yourself trying to take the square root of a negative number. And in the world of real numbers, well, you just can't do that. A neat trick is to check this beforehand. If b squared minus 4ac is a negative number, you can stop right there. The answer is simply no real roots.
Now, this method is more than just a problem-solving tool. It's actually the secret origin story for one of the most famous formulas in all of math.
I'm sure you've all seen the big, famous quadratic formula. But have you ever stopped and wondered where it actually comes from? Did some genius just dream it up one day? Nope, not at all.
The truth is, the quadratic formula is what you get when you take the general form of a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and you apply the exact same steps of completing the square that we've been practicing. It's not some separate piece of magic, it's a direct result of this method.
And there it is. This just shows you how powerful this concept really is. The formula that you use to solve any quadratic equation is literally born from the logic of completing the square. So when you understand this method, you understand the formula at a much, much deeper level.
So we have the theory down. Now for the really important part. How do you use this perfectly in your exams to make sure you get full marks? Let's go over some pro tips.
Okay, here's what to watch out for. The number one mistake people make is forgetting to add this special term to both sides. Remember, an equation is a balance. Another one is making small calculation mistakes, especially with fractions, so always double check. And of course, don't forget the golden rule. If a isn't 1, divide first. For the tips, just show you're working clearly, and please never ever forget that plus or minus symbol when you take a square root.
If this all feels like a lot, just burn this one line into your brain. It's a simple 3-step process. First, complete the square. Second, take the root. And third, solve for x. That's it. That's the whole game.
So there you have it, the method, the tricky cases, and its secret origin story. You are now equipped with an amazing tool that can take on any quadratic equation they throw at you. Seriously, ये method समझ गया, तो tough questions भी easy.